Something's not adding up in the world of Meghan and Harry. 1 minute, she's filming a glam fashion moment in Paris. The next, she's driving past the exact tunnel where Princess Diana died, laughing like it's a movie scene. The irony? Painfully loud. And while the Sussexes chase awards and headlines, the real royal power is quietly shifting somewhere else. Because Catherine, the Princess of Wales, just reminded everyone what authenticity really looks like. Meghan Markle really thought she was filming a cinematic fashion vlog. But what she actually captured? A masterclass in how to make the world collectively cringe. Picture this. She's in Paris, dressed head to toe in Balenciaga, windows down, feet up, giggling like she's in some teen movie montage. Except, the car is gliding past the exact tunnel where Princess Diana died. Yeah, that tunnel. The irony? Too loud to ignore. It's like she was saying, look, everyone, the world is at my feet. While cruising through a place soaked in royal trauma. Not just tasteless, deeply bizarre. And no, that video wasn't some candid moment. The angles, the timing, the way it was posted in real time, all felt choreographed. Even the lack of background music, something she usually adds to block reuse, made it feel calculated. She had just left her hotel, barely 10 minutes away from the Flame of Liberty, a monument that's practically a shrine to Diana's memory. Coincidence? Hardly. This was theater. Even Marcus Anderson, sitting stiffly in the front seat beside her, looked like he wanted to disappear into his coat collar. It was awkward. It was forced. And it screamed PR stunt. Meanwhile, back in the States, Megyn Kelly wasn't holding back. She straight up called Meghan not a well person. And honestly, after watching that footage, it's hard to disagree. There's a fine line between media savvy and being completely tone deaf. And Meghan bulldozed right past it. She wasn't just oblivious to the emotional weight of that location. She seemed to revel in it. Who jokes around while rolling past a place where your husband's mother died in a car crash? And it didn't stop there. Soon after, Meghan and Prince Harry landed in New York. All smiles, ready to accept their Humanitarians of the Year award. The same day global headlines screamed about wars, chaos, and Trump claiming he'd solved world peace. Yet there they were, celebrating themselves. It's almost satire at this point. While the world braced for crisis, they were posing with glass awards. Soaking in praise for? What exactly? No one could quite say. Then came the kicker, the charity drama. Prince Harry, once hailed for his work in Africa, suddenly under fire. The African Parks charity? A total disaster. Even the New York Times, once a cozy ally, turned cold. Their tone was brutal. They accused Harry of mismanagement, abandonment, being a no-show figurehead. The collapse wasn't just financial, it was ethical. No follow-through, no leadership, no explanation, just silence. Think about it. Harry still proudly lists himself as president of the charity, yet hasn't said a single word about its meltdown. The government of Chad reportedly cut ties. There were claims of renewed poaching, missing funds, broken agreements. And Harry? Radio silent. The man who releases statements over petty headlines suddenly had nothing to say when a whole charity fell apart under his name. That's what makes this story hit differently. Meghan's Paris D2 felt like bad PR. But Harry's situation? It reeks of negligence. Not evil. Just laziness, apathy, and a complete lack of accountability. A man who once had the full weight of the royal machine behind him now seems lost. Tucked away in Montecito, more focused on video games than actual work. When the New York Times calls you out. When Africa turns its back. When your so-called humanitarian legacy implodes, maybe it's time to rethink the Instagram filters and shiny awards. Because the world's no longer buying the brand. And the outrage didn't stop with the charity scandal. It spiraled when people realized just how aggressively choreographed Meghan's Paris stunt really was. Viewers broke down the video frame by frame. What they found wasn't spontaneity. It was a script. The bare feet. The soft laughter. The car gliding through Paris at night. All of it, giving influencer energy, not grief. Then the camera panned to the window. The same route Diana took before her death. And in that moment, any subtlety vanished. She wanted people to connect the dots. And they did, just not the way she hoped. Then came the award. Humanitarian of the Year. Based on what? PR campaigns and curated photo ops? It became clear that the group behind it, Project Healtherminds, wasn't exactly run by charity veterans. Deep dives into their team showed mostly media and tech types, many with ties to entertainment giants like NBC Universal. Translation: this wasn't about merit. It was about visibility. If you had a big enough profile and enough connections, you could walk home with a trophy, no questions asked. Stephanie and Nancy Sidley from the Outspoken Show tore into this farce with fury. The kind that comes from watching one too many staged red carpet moments. And they weren't alone. Even longtime Sussex sympathizers started to back off. You could feel it, the shift in tone across mainstream media. Where once there were glowing headlines, now there was doubt, distance, even disillusionment. But nothing captured the weirdness of it all quite like Meghan's real-time GPS trail in New York. She didn't just show up. She broadcasted it, posting where she was, when she was there, what she was wearing. No concern for security. No attempt at privacy. And yet, in court, they insist they live in fear. That the media is putting their lives at risk. People started asking hard questions. If security is such a concern, why live stream your movements? Why film yourself walking hotel hallways in full glam, camera pointed at your feet? Why post it all? That's when things tipped into satire. Theories started flying. That Meghan wanted a car chase. That she wanted to manufacture a paparazzi moment to revive the hunted Diana narrative. Some even claimed she tipped off photographers in Paris, hoping someone would take the bait. But no one did. Because the truth is, Meghan's fame doesn't hit like Diana's. And the press knows it. She's not the royal mystery, not the tragic icon. She's a celebrity trying to direct her own legacy. And sometimes, it shows. Meanwhile, Harry was drumming up sympathy of his own, dropping hints to the press about her stalker. But even that backfired. The alleged stalker turned out to be a fan, part of a group of black women who traveled to see him. Enthusiastic, yes, but harmless, not threatening. And when people traced the timeline of these supposed threats, it looked suspiciously staged. Like something cooked up for media distraction. The narrative started to rot. Every move, every headline, every appearance, reeking of damage control and desperation. And the irony? Just as Harry was panicking about safety, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, was stepping into the spotlight for something completely different. Something real. She wasn't posting her location. She wasn't chasing awards. She was writing a heartfelt essay on human connection and the loneliness epidemic, alongside psychologist Robert Waldinger. Catherine dropped a quiet bombshell, graceful, powerful, unforgettable. She reminded everyone that real power doesn't live in clicks or cameras. It lives in connection. Her message hit deep. We're living in an age of disconnection. Kids don't need iPads or influencers. They need eye contact. They need conversation. And that contrast? Brutal. One royal was making headlines by flashing her feet near Diana's grave. The other was asking people to look their loved ones in the eye. Guess who the world started listening to? Catherine's words hit harder than any scandal. While Meghan and Harry scrambled to hold their public image together with Netflix deals and awkward award shows, the Princess of Wales spoke to something everyone could feel, the ache of modern life. Her essay had no designer dress, no slow-motion entrance, no paparazzi setup. Just honesty, vulnerability, wisdom. She talked about connection like it was oxygen, and it landed. The line that stopped people cold. Our undivided attention is the most precious gift we can give another person. That hit home. It stuck in people's chests. No grand production, just quiet clarity from someone who's walked through hell with cancer and come out wanting to make the world a little better. That's what people remember. Not Instagram reels in Paris. And Catherine didn't just talk about connection. She lived it. Her kids aren't glued to screens. They don't even own phones. At a time when every celebrity turns their children into content, she's doing the opposite. Protecting them. Prioritizing their peace. It's parenting that actually matches the preaching. And when you line that up against Meghan's chaos as empowerment vibe, the difference is night and day. The public noticed. People who once defended Meghan started quietly backing away. You could see it. In the comments, in the tone shift online. Let's leave her alone. More wait, what is she doing? And it wasn't just Paris. Not the fake stalker drama. Not the collapsing African charity. It was the pattern. The sense that every move, every tear, every award was just another act in a performance no one bought tickets for. Then came the real punch. The New York Times finally turned. That's when it cracked. For years, they treated the Sussexes with kid gloves, glossy profiles, endless coverage, like royalty still mattered in America. But now, they were publishing lines like, "Harry is a disaster area when it comes to charity." That wasn't shade. That was a severance notice. Suddenly, his role as president of African Parks looked absurd. The government of Chad had walked away. Whispers of financial mismanagement grew louder. Accusations of disrespect toward indigenous communities surfaced. And still, not one word from Harry. No statement. No denial. No apology. Just silence, broken only by carefully managed PR appearances and awkward speeches. Then came the final blow. Rumors that Harry wanted to start another African charity. The reaction wasn't support. It was laughter. Who would fund that? Who would trust him again after everything that collapsed under his name? People were done with excuses. The grace period had expired. What Meghan and Harry don't seem to understand is simple. People can forgive almost anything, except inauthenticity. When your image is built on being victims, protectors, heroes, and healers, the moment that mask slips, it all collapses. And it had. Slowly, loudly, publicly. Meanwhile, Catherine said nothing. She didn't need to. She was too busy doing. Showing up with purpose. Speaking with care. Living the values she talks about. No awards needed. No cameras required. And now, no one has to wonder who the real leader is anymore.